Have you ever felt like you're living in a house of mirrors, where every reflection is a distortion of reality? Today, we're going to talk about a painful but crucial realization: the moment you understand that your partner doesn't love you, and perhaps never did. This isn't a story about villains or victims. It's about the courage to see clearly, the strength to act on that clarity, and the hope that lies beyond a relationship that no longer serves you. Let's start with a truth that might feel like a punch to the gut. Sometimes what we've been calling love is actually just familiarity, convenience, or fear of being alone. And recognizing this can be one of the most liberating and terrifying moments of your life. Imagine a woman. Let's call her Emma. She's been in a relationship for years, riding the roller coaster of hope and disappointment. She's tried to leave before, but always found herself drawn back in. But this time is different. This time, she knows. It's not a dramatic realization. There are no screaming matches or tearful confessions. Instead, it's a quiet dawn of understanding, as if a veil has been lifted from her eyes. She looks at her partner and sees, with painful clarity, that his actions have always been about him, never about her. The kind gestures she once clung to as proof of love, they were simply expressions of his general values, actions he would have done for anyone, not specific demonstrations of care for her. The conversations she thought were deep connections, they were largely one-sided, with him seemingly listening but never truly engaging or responding. His constant withdrawal and avoidance left her feeling like she was speaking into a void, desperately seeking a connection that wasn't there. This moment of clarity isn't about hate or blame, it's about truth. And truth, as uncomfortable as it can be, is the foundation of any meaningful change. So, what happens next? How do you dismantle a life built on an illusion of love? Let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Put your practical affairs in order. This might seem cold or calculating, but it's actually an act of self-love and protection. Start with finances. Separate your accounts, understand your assets and debts. Find a place to live if you need to move out. Sort out any shared paperwork or legal obligations. This practical work serves two purposes. First, it gives you a solid foundation for your new life. Second, it gives your logical mind something to focus on, helping to balance the emotional turmoil you're likely experiencing. Step 2. Rally your support system. Reach out to trusted friends and family members. Be honest about what you're going through and what you need. You might be surprised at the strength and love that surround you when you open up. Remember, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you value yourself enough to seek the support you deserve. These are the people who will hold you up when your own strength falters. Step 3. Organize your physical space. Sort through your belongings. Decide what to keep, what to discard, what to give away. This isn't just about logistics. It's a physical representation of the emotional sorting you're doing. As you handle each item, ask yourself, does this support the life I want to create for myself? Does it bring me joy, or just reminds me of pain? This process can be cathartic, a tangible way of making space for your new future. Remember this crucial truth: his well-being is not your responsibility. If you find yourself hesitating to leave because you're worried about how he'll cope, recognize that this concern, while natural, may be a form of self-betrayal. You're setting yourself up for continued unhappiness by prioritizing his needs over your own. He's a grown man, capable of figuring things out for himself. Your job isn't to manage his life or emotions. It's to be fair, honest, and true to yourself. Throughout all of this, prioritize self-care and nervous system regulation. You're going through a major life change, and your body and mind need extra support. This might mean more sleep, nourishing food, gentle exercise, or meditation. Find what works for you and make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Now, let's talk about the moment of truth, the conversation or event that marks the end of the relationship. You know it's coming. It's part of the never-ending cycle that brought you here. There will likely be a fight, an eruption of all the unspoken tensions and resentments. Here's the key. Pay close attention to how your partner responds. Do they take any responsibility, or are you cast as the villain in their story? This isn't about keeping score. It's about reinforcing your decision, reminding yourself why this step is necessary. If it's safe to do so, clearly state your decision to end the relationship. If you've been through this before with no results, you might choose to skip this step and move directly to action. Trust your instincts about what's right for you. Consider writing a letter or email explaining your decision. This can help you organize your thoughts and express yourself clearly without interruption. It also provides a record of your reasoning, something you might appreciate in moments of doubt. When everything is in place, it's time to leave. This moment, walking out the door, might be one of the hardest things you ever do. Your brain, wired for survival, might flood you with doubts and fears. It might tell you you're overreacting, that things aren't really that bad, that you're making a mistake. This is where your preparation pays off. As you take each step, remind yourself of the reality of your relationship. Remember the nights you cried yourself to sleep, longing for a connection that never came. Recall the feeling of reaching for a partner's hand, only to find it cold and unresponsive. Think of the times you poured out your heart, only to be met with indifference, irritation, gaslighting, or blame shifting. Remember the mornings waking up to a partner's back, the physical distance, a mirror of the emotional chasm between you. These memories aren't about dwelling in pain. They're guideposts, reminding you why this decision is necessary. They're helping your nervous system adjust to a new reality, one where you prioritize your own well-being. As you step into your new life, remember this: you haven't lost love. You've lost the illusion of love. And in doing so, you've gained something infinitely more valuable: the opportunity to find real, reciprocal love, starting with love for yourself. The road ahead won't be easy. There will be moments of doubt, of grief, of fear, but there will also be moments of joy, of discovery, of pride in your own strength. You're not just leaving a relationship, you're reclaiming your life. Every step you take is an act of courage. Every moment you choose yourself is a victory. You're not just surviving, you're paving the way for thriving. Remember, the end of a relationship isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you're the author, the protagonist, and the hero. As you move forward, be gentle with yourself. Healing isn't linear. There might be days when you question your decision, when the loneliness feels overwhelming. This is normal. It doesn't mean you made a mistake. It means you're human. On those difficult days, return to the clarity that led you to this decision. Reread your letter if you wrote one. Reach out to your support system. Remind yourself of the future you're creating, one where you're valued, respected, and truly loved. And here's a powerful truth to hold on to. By choosing to leave a relationship where you weren't loved, you're making space for real love to enter your life. This might be romantic love in the future, but more importantly, it's love for yourself. It's the love that says, I deserve more than crumbs. I deserve the whole feast. As we wrap up, I want to speak directly to anyone watching who might be in a similar situation. If you've been questioning your relationship, if you've felt the nagging suspicion that something isn't right, I encourage you to listen to that inner voice. You deserve to be with someone who sees you, who values you, who actively chooses you every day. You deserve a love that nourishes you, not one that depletes you. And if that's not what you have right now, know that it's okay to walk away. It's more than okay. It's brave and necessary. Your journey to self-love and genuine connection starts with honoring your own worth. It starts with the courage to say, this isn't enough for me. It starts with the belief that you deserve more. So what's your next step? Maybe it's having an honest conversation with yourself about your relationship. Maybe it's reaching out to a trusted friend or a therapist. Or maybe it's starting to put your practical affairs in order, just in case. Whatever it is, know that you're not alone. There's a whole community of people out there who have walked this path before you, who understand what you're going through, and who are rooting for your happiness and well-being. Maybe this isn't the first time you yourself are going through this. Great, you know you'll survive. You can do it. One step at a time. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on relationships, self-love, and personal growth. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What has been your experience with realizing a relationship wasn't serving you? What advice would you give to others in similar situations? Remember, every step you take towards honoring your worth is a step towards a more fulfilling life. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep believing in your own value. Until next time, take Take care of yourselves and each other.